take you home.
Hello and welcome to the Help My Unbelief podcast, the #1 Christian podcast designed for the unbeliever. What's up, dude?
How are you doing today?
Okay, I wanted to get our conversation that we're having on camera. But okay, before we get in this conversation we were having, I want to say our guest today, he is our first atheistic Satanist, is coming on today. His name is Vinny, which means he's probably from New Jersey, huh? You know what I mean? He's probably from...
My cousin Vinny, right?
Yeah. Probably
So I remember that movie.
Hey, Vinny, coming on the show, huh?
Yeah, you know what the best thing about that show was?
Tell me about it.
Melissa Dorme. What was her name? Melissa Dorme?
I don't know.
Vinny's woman.
From...
When she describes everything about the Pontiac, it
Oh,
couldn't
yeah?
have been that because it was dis.
Oh,
Cracked me up, man.
I
She knew more about cars in that one statement than most men in the 60s.
whenever we...
It was crazy.
Whenever we were taught, you know, our guest backed out today, and then we had to scramble to get a new one today, and that happened during the Bible study. And so I was like, we were talking in the Bible study about what we were going to do, and the people in the Bible study were like, well, if push comes to shove, you and Larry could just talk for the whole time. I mean, you guys could come up with nice things to talk about or whatever.
Nice thing.
And I was like, well, what if I just spent the whole 2 hours trying to piss Larry off the whole time? And everybody was like, yes, do it.
We said we were going to sing the whole time.
Oh, my
Yeah.
goodness. I couldn't take it.
I was like, I wonder, my goal would be to get you to walk off set.
You know, and here the whole time last week you were saying, now keep this down, keep your intro down, don't talk long, don't talk much, just keep your mouth shut, Larry, because people don't want to hear you.
I did not say that.
And then yet your whole Bible study says, well, just the two of y'all could have a whole conversation.
Yeah.
It'd be
No,
great.
the reason why I said we should get to the guests sooner because people probably get tired. Like, here's what I don't want, okay? Here's what I don't want. Like, if we sell a bunch of stuff in the beginning of the show, like, hey, subscribe to our show. And hey, come check us out at church. Hey, buy our T-shirts. Hey, you see what I'm saying? People don't want to hear that for 30 minutes at the beginning of the show.
No,
that's
because
boring.
it sounds like one of those
Infomercial.
pay-per-view infomercials. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah. I can't stand those things.
Do you have a My Pillow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I watch a lot of Grit TV. You ought to see some of the commercials. They're all designed for people older than me.
Really?
Every handicap ad. No, I'm sorry. That's what is it? Physically
Disabled.
disabled.
Do you have
Is that is that the PC word?
Do you have
I don't know anything
mesothelioma? Mesothelioma?
Yeah. A lot of that going on too.
Yeah.
But I do want to say thank you.
To me?
Yes.
Why?
Because you had to scramble while you were doing the Bible study, and here I was just sitting in Ambassadors, enjoying my morning and getting filled with the Holy Spirit and listening to Pastor Dee talk and doing some praise and worship. And
Don't worry,
and then
bro.
having a wonderful lunch because they had our Easter lunch today.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, man.
Don't worry, bro. Whenever
You got it covered for me.
whenever we're
All I gotta do
full-time-
is talk.
when we're full-time ministry, I will find things for you to do.
Oh, I'm looking forward to when you release me.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
When you pull the chain out the pit bull and say, get him.
I already have. You can go get donations.
I already have been.
Yeah. I think we're up to over 500.
I was going to say, did you check your amount yet?
I think we're over $500 right now. But we got, so Jennifer Boyd gave us another $150 some dollars.
Thank you.
And then so we're over $500 to our first $1,500 so far.
That's
so,
wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah. And so
We're trying real hard not to stress out about that, but it is really, really, really important that we become
a 501c3. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very
completely.
important that we become a legal entity, essentially is what we're trying to do. So if you are interested in helping out and partnering with our ministry, then check us out at our Cash App is hashtag Help My Unbelief, and then our PayPal is info@helpmyunbelief.org, and then the PayPal is also in the link tree in my bio on TikTok and on Instagram and all the other place. And then I think that's all we have right now. I think that's all we have is those two. But you could also
you could do it old school if you wanted to, and just send a check to Zach and Larry.
Yeah.
And you can send it to 900 East Main in Yukon,
Yep.
73099 at Discovery Church.
Yep.
In care of or whatever that is. That's old school.
In care of, I don't even know what that means, to be honest with you. So
You really don't know what in care. You wrote like Larry Bernard in care of, and my parents' name at their address.
no.
So because I'm not on the actual deal, my stuff could still go to that address.
Oh.
They say to the parents now, to the parents of such and such. They
Yeah,
don't
but
say that
if
in
I have
care.
so the mailman would know, like my wife and I live by ourselves. So, but if my daughter needed to get something there, or not even my daughter, if somebody else needed to get something there, they could write in care of, and the mailman would know that goes in the right mailbox.
That's so old.
Yeah, I know, and people don't really give. I get mail from everybody in my neighborhood, so
This is making me want to fall asleep, this conversation. It's boring.
hey, I'm on first name basis with my mailman. I greet him every time he walks by, and I offer him water. Do you?
No, I don't care about my mailman. Oh, you do, don't you, huh?
Well, it's the mailman now. My mail lady doesn't come anymore. She got back to her old route, so no.
Oh, yeah.
But the lady that used to do it, we used to have daily conversations, yeah.
Yeah, she used to, my wife used to run
crazy.
outside. She used to run outside when the mail lady would come just to wave at her.
Now, in your neighborhood, do you have mailboxes?
Yes, but this lady, she cracks me up. She'll be driving her the mail truck, and at some places, if you have your trash can out and they're blocking her by the mail, she'll sit there and she'll run it over with her car and push it with the milk truck until it gets out of the way. And she's just like, I can't believe these stupid idiots. It's just so funny.
Man.
Oh,
She cracks me up.
The worst thing as a former trash man is when they set it next to the mailbox and you got to reach out and pick it without hitting the mailbox.
Oh yeah, they wouldn't do it for us.
No, we just go on by it. You can't put it in the right spot. We can't pick it up.
I know that's what they did to us once. It cost us like an extra like $70 or something for them to come back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad, dude.
Hey,
it's not cool.
Man,
I'd have whooped you if I knew that was you.
Every week, you should know the rules. Most of the rules are written on the can.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a polycart. Now, if it's rear load, they just grab it and throw it in. It doesn't matter.
Well,
We moved in this place.
I tell you what,
we didn't know that.
You ever drive by my house and don't pick up I'm going to rear load you with my foot.
Well, first off, I'm not in the business anymore, and
well, if you ever
really
do that,
go back.
All I'm saying is if you ever get back in the trash business and you come back to my house and you don't pick up my trash can because it's too close to my mailbox, I'm going to rear load you with my foot.
Okay, I understood.
I may have to get a ladder.
I understood your whole little threat.
It's not a threat. I'm just telling you what's going to happen.
I'm going to tell you, this ministry is going to get way too big for me to have to go back to those kind of businesses.
There you go. Boo! Who's got y'all? Boo!
Yeah,
Who's got y'all? Yeah. Y'all don't really hunt it now.
Give me something to throw. I can already tell.
Is he already pissing you off?
We're 9 minutes and 58 seconds into this thing, and he's already pissed. We did it! We did it.
Y'all guys at the Bible Study Challenge team.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's working on it real hard.
We did it. And guess what, guys? We're not going to have to reshoot this episode this week.
Praise the Lord.
We literally shot an episode like 2 days ago. Dude, it felt like it was like 2 days ago, but it was like literally like 4 days ago.
Yeah, but you put it out pretty quick.
Yeah.
Saturday night into. I mean, to be honest with you, we're having the egg hunt this Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Oh, no, I'm going to have to edit it Friday, yeah.
I can't. I'm done. I am done after those egg hunts. I am completely done. And then I gotta be available physically for Sunday. I can't come up here and record.
Well, that makes me think I'm gonna have to edit on Thursday or Friday this week, huh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to come here and record at 4:00 in the morning.
I don't want to have to ever record again. I mean, but last one was God though too. So
yes, it was. Yes, it
So
was.
God definitely wanted that to happen.
We can make all the plans we want to, but God's plan comes first.
Oh, what I was talking about before the cameras started rolling was, I made this video yesterday about this kid. He said, how in the world did I get on Jesus Talk or whatever, Jesus TikTok? And so I made a video with like my hoodie up, and then I had a Sharpie in my mouth, and I go, the real question is, kid, why are you just now getting here? Or why didn't you come to Jesus Talk sooner or whatever? And I got in this grovelly voice. Well, I had made a reference before that. The Help My Unbelief Ministries, we're like the, I don't know, what would you call us? Like the ghetto of ministries, because of like, we're hanging out with the witches and the Satanists and stuff like that. Everybody else is scared to hang out with. We're the ghetto. We're the ghetto of it. And we're like, we love it. We love it. You know, not saying that the witches and Satanists are like the bad people or whatever, but that's what Christians, all the other ministries, view as the bad people.
Yeah, they won't talk to them.
And so, like, that's why I said that we have our spiritual cigars. And
back in the day, Jesus hung out with tax collectors, and nobody wanted to hang out with them, right?
It seems like we're probably in the right.
Do we have any tax collectors coming on?
No, we haven't filed our taxes yet, so we're gonna wait until after tax season to have a tax collector on. But they'll be like, but we believe in Christ, and we'll be like, no, you don't. No, you don't. You're a tax collector.
Yeah, that kind of goes with it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I just remember I wrote, "You are definitely cray-cray" on that.
I didn't see that. I didn't see your message.
Oh, it was on Facebook.
Yeah. One of the guys from church made a comment on it after I made a comment. He was laughing about it.
What did he say?
Yeah, it was Mike.
Mike who?
I can't say his full name here, can I?
Yeah, why not?
The maintenance guy?
No. That's Michael.
Oh.
Mike Goodman.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, no, he made a comment after my comment on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Because it flashed up on my phone.
You know what was funny about that video? I actually like scripted it out before I did it. Like I wrote a script on it.
Really?
Like I wrote that out, yeah. Like that's what I'm going to start doing with the funny stuff is like writing it out.
You don't have too much time on your hands.
No, I don't. I wrote that out that morning, and I wrote it out that morning, but I was going to shoot it before the Bible study. I actually didn't shoot that until like 7:00 at night. Something like that, because I had lost time.
Well, I thought it was pretty dark.
Well, I mean, I can make the room look dark. That's why I did that.
Is that how you did it? See, I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, I edited it. Yeah.
You told me when I do mine to make sure there was plenty of light in the room, so that's what I do.
Well, yeah. But you don't know. I mean, if you had a ring light, you can make it darker, lighter, and stuff like that.
No,
so.
I keep trying. I'm trying to get down to where I can do my devotionals each day. Apparently, I can't talk as fast as I can write. Because I can't get them done in less than 3 minutes. I've tried and tried and tried.
How long does it take you to do those things?
Write my devotional in the morning?
Yeah.
About an hour.
Good grief, dude.
Dude, I'm praying and writing what God tells me to write.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm like...
The last two were...
I don't do this either. I'm sitting there doing this.
The last two were so long. So long.
Not my problem.
They had to take forever.
Not my problem.
He said, not my problem.
Not my problem.
Okay, he's good to go. Let's get our guest on. His name's Vinny. He's an atheistic Satanist. He's our first atheistic Satanist, and we're going to figure out what that is together with him. Let's go. Let's go, Vinny.
Hey, how's it going?
Vinny, what's up, dude?
Hey.
How are you doing, man?
Good. How about yourself?
Are you from Jersey?
No, Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Wow.
Nice. I guessed Jersey.
You guessed way off, dude.
Yeah. Well, I mean, people with the name Vinny, I mean, you just got to think Jersey, right? People from Oklahoma, they don't name their kids Vinny. He calls me
old, yet he used, my cousin Vinny as the preface for this, all right?
No, you
use straight out of the Jersey Shore,
yeah. Yeah. See, that Jersey Shore is too young for me.
So, Vinny, have you watched any of our shows at all?
I had a few minutes when I was at work today. I delved into the beginning of the one where you were doing the interview with the Athiestic Satanist. I think his name was Dan.
Dan, okay, episode 8, gotcha. Okay, so let me explain a little bit of how our show goes. Normally we have an executive producer, Mark, here, but he's out. Doing another. He's been doing Trump rallies, hasn't he? He produces Trump rallies. He runs the production.
He's been doing weather.
Oh, he's doing weather right now.
Yeah, he's over there covering the damage and destruction in Arkansas.
He does production for news companies, is what I should say. He does. So, and then I have my wife at the production table today, Angela. You might hear her voice.
Gotcha. Hello.
My co-host Larry
has already spoken with you. How you doing, Vinny?
Good.
And then my name's Zach, and I'm the host of the show. So we're called the Help My Unbelief podcast. We do not debate here. I mean, if we have a friendly disagreement, that's fine. I don't care. But
right.
It's not something that we do. We debate. I basically interview you. We're kind of just interested in the different beliefs and stuff like that. And then at the very end of the show, we will all say something. Like Angela will say something, Larry will say something, just like a closing statement. Then I'll say something, and then you'll get the final say at the end of the show. Because out of respect for our, just you being a guest, you'll get the final say. So we don't really, do you have a time limit today?
Probably about a half hour, 45 minutes, give or take.
Sounds good. So about 4:00. Okay, sounds good. Well, 5:00 your time. Sounds good. Yeah. So just to let you know, you are our first atheistic Satanist.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
Yeah. So, I mean, essentially what it is, the way I like to refer to it is atheism with a spooky mascot. I like to, it's real light, at least you can make it what you want to and follow, I'm a member of the Satanic Temple, but a very, unevolved for the most part. And it's a very lax, way of having a religion, essentially. And it's more or less just like having a moral code to follow by. So essentially it is atheism, but there is, they have the 7 tenets. I don't know how familiar you are with that. There's also, I've listened to a lot of content from outsider Satanism, which is essentially similar to the Satanic Temple, but is unaffiliated with that, and surprisingly enough, don't necessarily get along with them as well. It's kind of weird because it's another thing I picked up from listening to what I did about your interview with the Theistic Satanist is just how far apart the different sections of it, meaning are. But it's a very, which is part of why I got into it, because since I was 15, I was just an atheist, and then I moved in with my former roommate, and he kind of explained it to me, and at first it was very off-putting, but then he kind of got into it and was just he got into it too, again, just because it's kind of goofy and fun. I don't know if you're familiar with
what was off-putting about it in the beginning? What put you off about it in the beginning?
I mean, just, when somebody talks about being a Satanist, you expect they're going to be doing blood rituals and sacrificing goats outside of a church, that kind of stuff. But it really doesn't entail any of that at all. It's more or less just, living by the principles of more or less just being a good person.
We need to talk to Nero and see if they do rituals we didn't to sacrifice animals. We need to ask him that next time we see him.
I'm honestly curious myself too, because from what I get when I'm told about Theistic Satanism too, is you get that kind of spooky side of it where they because obviously there's the whole deity aspect of it, where they're performing rituals, and I'm not sure exactly what that entails, but that kind of spooks me out. Which is why I gravitated towards the atheistic side of it, which it's funny because being the first atheistic Satanist that you guys have interviewed, because 90%, I would say confidently, of Satanists are atheistic.
Well, that's what I was talking to a guy, atheistic Satanist, in his live, and I don't know why, but I have had a really hard time getting atheists. I've talked to probably for the sake of not exaggerating, I've probably talked to 25 atheistic Satanists in their lives or in private, and they will not come on the show. and I have no idea why. But the last guy I talked to that I tried to get on the show, he kept telling me, I was like, hey, I've had 2 theistic Satanists on the show, and I'm wanting an atheistic Satanist to interview. And he straight up told me, he said, theistic Satanism does not exist. It's not real. It's fake. And he goes, they don't exist. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I literally interviewed them. Like, I don't get what you mean.
That's kind of like my thing with it too, is, and again, because like if you go on the Satanic Temple's website, and even like the Church of Satan that Anton LaVey founded, it's all atheistic. And again, the Church of Satan, again founded by Anton LaVey, gets a little more goofy with some of that stuff, which is why I don't gravitate to a lot of that. Whereas that was where my old roommate was told me about quite a bit, because he kind of gets into like. They also have a code too, but it's a little more angry on the side of that, and like talks about vengeance and like magic, but his interpretation of magic, more or less, what I summarized from that is like basically using your words to like manipulate a situation in a sense. So it's kind of goofy, but in that sense is also like kind of fun in that aspect too. It's a little trolly, you know. Didn't
Anton LaVey and his family, didn't they like practice astral projecting and going into the spiritual realm and stuff like that? I could have swore
there was a whole lot of goofy stuff going on there. Yeah, I mean, again, from a guy that started out as a carny to, you know, I think I don't know. I haven't read about that specifically, but it would not surprise me at all. But so yeah, he was a character for sure.
So you've been an atheist your whole life, essentially?
No, actually, I was raised Catholic.
Man, we've had so many people that were raised Catholic. 20 episodes, I'd say like, well, probably 25% of them, huh? Were raised Catholic, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think that's a safe assumption.
Our last former witch, which her family was Catholic and practiced witchcraft. Was our last
that's very interesting.
Yeah.
No, I was Catholic, and then I went to Catholic school the whole 9 until I was about 15, and I kind of just decided to find my own way and to separate from the church a little bit. There was a lot of stuff going on, which I won't delve into too much, but it just, you know, kind of made me question my faith and I did a lot of critical thinking and just decided that it wasn't for me, which was like a huge fight with my family because my mom and, you know, grandparents are all still very, very religious to this day. But, yeah, it wasn't until probably I would say about 3 or 4 years ago where like I've always liked like spooky imagery and, you know, things, not to say like evil nature essentially, but like dark stuff like that. So I really gravitated towards like the imagery and stuff of Satanism, just as like a spooky, fun thing. You know, I'm a big fan of Halloween.
Yeah. Are you, so I noticed that about, the atheistic Satanists, they'll sport like the anarchy symbol and stuff like that quite a bit. Are you quite a bit in the open, like with your family of being an atheistic Satanist and stuff now, or in the public at your work and stuff like that?
You know, for people that are interested in it and like that I know well, and I can like sit down and explain it to them, so it's not like super off-putting. I will like sit down and be open about it, but I kind of keep it to myself unless somebody asks. Like I have some jewelry or like a ring that has, you know, the head of Baphomet on it and stuff like that. But again, it's just kind of fun stuff for me. But as far as my family goes, my sister is also an atheist. So she knows about that. I have a daughter as well, and I've been open with her about that as well. But as far as my mom goes, she's put up with enough of my stuff, and I just kind of let her. She knows I'm an atheist, but I haven't gotten into like the spooky side of it because one, I don't find it really relevant to necessarily bring up, and I know it would just bother her.
Yeah,
and she's put up with enough crap from me throughout my life, so I kind of just let her have her piece, you know.
I think that's probably like pretty wise. I mean, like you don't want to put your mom, like you don't want to lie to her. So you don't want to lie to her. So you admit that you're an atheist or whatever, but taking it that next step and saying you're an atheistic Satanist, it would just tip her over the edge. She probably wouldn't understand it either.
She's a very reasonable person, but again, she has her beliefs, and you know, she's a good person, and what she wants to believe in is fine with me, and she's the greatest woman I've ever known too. So again, I try not to trouble her with anything that I don't need to.
Well, you sound like a good son, man. You sound like a good son.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it.
So if you were raised in a Catholic church and going to a Catholic school,
mm-hmm.
you definitely had an understanding of what the thought process was of God, right?
Oh yeah, and I've read like a good portion of the Bible too. I took religion classes even after I had to go to public school after that, just because we moved. But yeah, I've I like I said, I was pretty self-aware like throughout my, like I said, I was probably about 15 or so. I kind of just started to stray away from it.
What took you down that road of everything that you were raised to believe to turn that around and not believe? What caused that?
I think, for lack of just, a lot of variety and answers for that, I would say probably just proof. I just kept wanting to know, have solid, tangible proof that like the things that I was being told by everyone around me, that like I just didn't have something I could see or something I could hold, and everybody just kept telling me, you got to have faith and faith and faith from something that I had never witnessed for myself. So I did a lot of soul searching. It was quite a big fight in my family too to get away from that. But
well, I was gonna say you did it when you were 15, so it had to be like while you were at home still, right? And so it was probably like pretty open with your family. Dang, man, that must have been a hard time for you.
It was not easy, no, and it was like right before the biggest. It was, I kind of kept it to myself for a while too, and the biggest thing was because I was baptized in the Catholic Church as well. Was right before, I believe that's the age of 15 or 16 when you make your confirmation, your first confirmation.
What's that?
Or
it's a Catholic thing, recognizing you're of the age of consent.
Oh, okay.
Or not consent, but understanding.
Yeah, it's like being an adult in the eyes of the Catholic Church.
Right. Just like the Jew.
It's like a second baptism into like adulthood.
Age of accountability. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. And
I was going to say, I don't think consent was the right.
That's a little weird. I'm going to be honest with you, Larry.
It's kind of like the Jewish kids have the bar mitzvah to show that they become a man at a certain age, and I think theirs was like 12. Yeah, you probably
These old people can just say stuff and they get away with it, don't they? Don't they, Vinny? These old people just spurt off at the mouth and they just get away with stuff.
Before Vinny sides with you, he probably ought to tell you his age.
Well, I could tell he's not 60 at least.
No, I just turned 30. I'm above the age of consent. I'm not confirmed, but okay, if I can I ask you a question? Because I know you had asked about me, having a confirmation in the Catholic Church. What, I apologize again. I've been very busy and haven't done any research. But what religion is it that you guys practice?
Oh, we are Christian. We are Christians. Yeah.
Christian. Okay.
And we attend if you want to get even more honed in on what we believe, we attend an Assembly of God church.
Okay. I'm not super familiar with that, but my dad's side was, is Christian as well too. So my mom's side was Catholic and my dad's side is Christian. So I got a little bit of
conflict
both of those worlds.
Yeah. Did you have a lot of conflict at home over their beliefs?
Oh, they're divorced.
Oh, okay. Over that?
All right. No, not
over that. Not over that. That was just a joke. But they parted ways quite a while ago. But actually, I'm not sure because like it was weird. We went to church every Sunday, but we would always go to my mom's church. They split when I think I was like 13 or 14. So the memory's a little fuzzy from that. I definitely went to church on my dad's side when we were out staying with him a few times. But we definitely were like, I was in Catholic school and I went to a Catholic church like regularly. So that was more of the section that I was, kind of brought up in.
So let me ask you a question. Because most, and don't give, so I want to preface this. So most of the time that I've talked to an atheistic Satanist, it's been like on their platform, where they're getting like berated by Christians constantly and stuff. And then I come in and I'm trying to filter my personality through words on the screen. So they're probably already in defense mode when I show up. So,
100%.
so I'm asking this question out of a place that but like, for example, most of the time that I've talked to atheistic Satanists, it seems like their position and what their beliefs are mainly antagonistic in nature. Like, and it's designed to antagonize Christians. But I'm not getting that from you at all. So is something like, do you have a community of people that you hang out with, that you talk to, that practice this? Do you get that sense that it's mainly used to antagonize Christians? Or am I viewing that because of the nature and where I greet these people at? Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. And I could definitely see that in a sense too, where like I feel like I could like potentially be a little antagonistic. Again, it's like a little like a lot of Satanism it's very trolly in nature too, but there are people who take it very seriously. And again, this is part of why I agreed to come on here too when we spoke on your live, is because I checked out your channel and you very like level-headed and like just reasonable discussion aspect of it too, where I feel like the antagonistic nature of a lot of people that practice Satanism could be from like, you know, in response to or in preparation to, you know, a somewhat antagonistic, you know, attitude coming from the Catholic Church, or they're pushing their beliefs on them. Because I don't have, obviously, again, like I have people in my family that are Catholic or Christian, people that I am, you know, friends with that have religious views. And the only issue that I would ever have with Catholicism or religion in the aspect of your God would be like in politics. And then, you know, we can get into like the whole thing with like churches and priests and stuff like that and underage kids. But that, like, beside that all aside, is like, you know, where I could see people being antagonistic, because I'm not,
I know why they are. I know why they're antagonistic, and if I didn't believe, I would be too. And the whole reason is, and I've told this to Larry a bunch of times, and the reason why we approach things differently is because obviously I'm not trying to hide anything and get things, because you're a smart guy, right? So I'm not trying to lie or come behind a back door or anything like that. I mean, this is a ministry that we're hoping that people would come to know Jesus Christ. That's what we're hoping to get out of this. Right. And I don't feel like we're hiding that or trying to pull the wool over anybody's eyes. But what I noticed in the Christian community is the way they're approaching it, they're not getting anywhere. Like, there's literally, I know for a fact that there's nothing new that I can tell you today that you haven't heard before. I know for a fact.
100%.
Nothing. Does that make sense? So why say it? Why take that angle? Why take that approach? And in fact, if what we believe in is true, and if Jesus really was exactly who he says he was, then I think we need to listen to what he said. And what he said is how people will know we're his disciples, is by how we love other people. And so,
right, absolutely.
And I think we lost that somewhere.
I would definitely agree. I mean, there's a lot of hate in this world, and I think that people see Satanism too and think that it's all about evil and condemning, where it's realistically, if you look at the tenets, are not far off from values in the Bible. I mean, it's, you know, treat others the way that you want to be treated, have respect for your fellow human. You know, I can I
actually went to the website and looked at the tenets from the Satanic Temple
tenets.
And I mean, I would agree that there's like some core beliefs in there that wouldn't be bad, but there is some distinctions from Christianity, like the part where
absolutely, I'm not denying that at all.
Yeah, where it says that basically where you serve yourself, I think is one of them, that you do whatever is best for yourself, and then one of the core beliefs in Christianity is to deny yourself and pick up your cross and follow Jesus. So there is some distinctions in there, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, I mean, we haven't talked to a Satanist yet that was that seemed like he was any more evil than any other human that we talk to, if that makes sense.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. I mean, I was actually listening to a podcast today that referenced this as well, in the sense, and again, I'm very, like, these are not down to the T, and it's a very loose, I have a very loose interpretation of it. Like I said, I am a member of the Satanic Temple, but it's also like, it was just me signing up on their website, and I got an email, like, newsletter, you know. So it's what you want to make of it. And there are people that can argue that, you know, Satanism can be very selfish in nature, but also, you know, there's the other aspects of it where, again, in the first tenet, it says here, you know, one should strive to act with compassion and empathy towards all creatures in accordance with reason. So there's give and take, you know, it's taking care of yourself and viewing yourself as your own master and listening to what you believe is good for you, but also having that balance to, like, you know, not have what you would say a God complex, even though it is kind of promoting that in a sense. But still, you know, value yourself and your body as, you know, like being, you know, taking care of yourself and mental health, but also, you know, helping your fellow human.
Yeah, along with it. I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, what time we got? Hold on. We're at 3:40. You still got about 20 minutes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So,
I don't hear my roommate in the background.
So, like, are you shut off to a future with Christ? Is it something that you think about? You're like, man, what if this is true? Like, oh, hold on. Let me just ask one question at a time. Are you shut off to a future with Christ? Have you completely shut it off?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. That's long past. Unless, you know, Jesus himself ascends out of the sky and holds my hand and shows me the way. It's gonna take a whole heck of a lot to be swayed. You know, again, we go back into that proof kind of thing. I mean, there could be, obviously, that's a little bit of a dramatic, you know, rendering, but
so, like, even if Jesus gave you just like a vision, you would want literally, you'd want to be awake and for the clouds to part and for him to come down and grab you by the hand for you to believe.
More or less.
Yeah.
I did not know. Zach never tells me exactly what we're going to talk about until I get here.
Well, can I be honest with you? Like,
I do that for a reason.
I don't know that either, because, like, I want the conversations to be authentic. And I also noticed whenever I was, like, researching all these different religions that were coming on the show, it was just, like, overwhelming me. Like, and so I want to be surprised too, bro.
But my daughter, I think it was my daughter, sent me a message on Messenger today, and I took a minute and watched the video of it, and it was a Satanist that had converted over to Christianity, and he said, somebody actually questioned him and said, "What made you change your mind?" And he said, "Well, listen, I'll be honest with you. You could take Mount Everest and it could bounce across the United States and jump off of the ocean, and that wouldn't have convinced me that Jesus was real. What happened was the change that came in me. So when all the change that came in him, that's what caused him to actually..."
But didn't he have to submit his life to Christ first? You don't know?
I didn't get that part of the testimony in it. But he said he recognized the change that Jesus had made in him. So did he give Jesus a chance first? Possibly. I don't know.
Huh.
I didn't get that part, but I didn't research it. It just happened to see that little clip. And
well, that's a terrible idea for you to bring that up.
No, it really wasn't. Because of what he just said.
Yeah.
You know, unless Jesus come and shook his hand, he ain't going to believe in Jesus.
Well, I'm really pissed because I want to know now if that guy gave his life to God first, or if Jesus made the change and then he gave his life to Jesus.
I will send you the clip and then you can research it.
Well, now I pissed you off once during this episode. Now you pissed me off once.
That's all right.
You know, the only problem is he's like 6'3", and so, like, there's
Man, every time you say it, you lower me 1 inch.
You're 6'4", really?
I'm 6'5".
You're 6'5"?
Yes.
I feel like you add an inch to it every time.
No, when I was 18, I was 6'6".
No kidding.
Yeah.
What a waste of height, dude.
I've lost.
So you did lose an inch?
Yes, I have some physical issues that created some
I'm sorry. I didn't mean
pre-aging, I could say, to where I've lost some height, but also I don't like to stand up straight because that literally hurts.
In other words, he did a lot of drugs.
I've done a lot. Well, no, I did a lot of physical damage too.
I mean, I've been there too. That's a part of the spiritual journey. I've dabbled in quite a bit. I wasn't sure like what I should or not be saying on here, but yeah, I've dabbled in quite a lot of psychedelics as well. And I think that's guided quite a bit along the way.
I guess I could ask you that question because that's interesting about atheistic Satanists. Like, so normally at the beginning of every show, well, okay, so the show that you watched, Dan, right? That show that you watched, I don't know if you noticed this, but that guy literally did a ritual on air with us.
I didn't get that far, and see that is like. I mean, I feel like, I hate to say the term, but like crazy to me. Crazy is a strong word, and I don't like to use it very often. But
well, it wigged us out, and we were like, oh, we need to start, because, we interview witches, we interview Satanists, we interview pagans, we interview, I mean, every different type of religion you can think of. And so normally since that episode, at the very beginning of every show, we're like, hey, we don't pray on the show. Out of respect for all of our guests. So we're going to ask that you don't do any rituals as well. And I just assumed, since you're an atheistic Satanist, that you don't do any type of rituals, right? You don't do anything like that?
No, absolutely not. Nope.
Okay. So there's
absolutely not.
You don't have any prayers. You don't have any because you said you signed up for the temple and stuff. Like, is there like a motto that you say every day, or like a mission statement or anything like that?
Nope. No, I mean, like I said, I'm a member, but I'm very uninvolved too. I've wanted to like go visit the temple that they have in Salem, just because I think it'd be a cool trip to go check out. But yeah, no rituals, no mottos. Again, it's just like, there's days I don't even like think about it. It's just like, again, basically ingraining in your head, just trying to go out and be your own person and treat others with respect. And yeah,
I'm gonna kind of make a statement. I made a reference in the last podcast about a CEO Christian, which would be a Christmas and Easter only Christian. So technically, if the occasion comes up, you kind of want to go there, kind of thing. So wouldn't that be like the equal to a CEO?
No, well, because he doesn't believe in religion or anything anyway. Like,
but he wants to go see the temple of whatever.
But he's not going there to worship anything or anything like that.
Yeah, no, not at all. It's more or less just to like see it because it looks cool. And I've seen pictures of it, and it's just I know there's like chapters around. There's not one close to me. I believe there's one in like Rochester. But I mean, again, they can get. That's again another thing too is the Satanic Temple is they do have like a political agenda. For like pro-choice and which is like a big thing, and things along that line. And I'm very apolitical as well. I try and stay out of politics as much as I can too. So
likewise,
yeah,
that's probably why we get along. We don't talk about.
I do a phenomenal Donald Trump impression though. It's probably one of the best Donald Trump impressions.
That's pretty spot on.
Probably China, right?
Yeah, I like it when your hair wiggles.
Yeah.
Your comb over.
My comb over. It's wiggling in my hat. Really? That sucks. Why did you tell me that? We're on camera,
you
bro.
Cut it so short that you can't do the comb over anymore.
I'm gonna instigate a fight in between theistic Satanist and atheistic Satanist right now, because I think it'd be fun in the comment section. So. Hold on. Okay.
These are for the comments. All
need to, when you get off here, you need to go watch the episode with Satanist Nero. He is a theistic Satanist. We just interviewed him in episode 16, I believe. Is
that the clip that you have pinned on your TikTok?
No. That was with Dan. That was Dan. Okay, yeah, because I remember seeing that clip when I checked your channel out, and I was like, that's probably why a lot of atheistic Satanists try to stay away from theistic Satanists. Because after hearing that, I was like, it's a bad name too. Because not atheistic Satanists are nothing like that. Yeah.
He calls it was a little jarring.
Nero is a Luciferian, and he believes in Satan, that he's a real thing, and he believes that and he worships him as his god. That's what Nero.
Yeah, I feel like that's where you would draw the line in like calling somebody a theistic Satanist when they're really actually a Luciferian. Because again, when you go to like any of these websites of any Satanists that have any kind of organizations, there's always disclaimers and being like, we do not believe in a deity. We do not believe in the 72 demons, fire and hell rings, or whatever he was talking about. Like that's so very foreign and far off.
That was the 72 demons of Aragoatia. That's from something in the Bible, like a King David or something had. I can't remember the story, but I looked it up, but I can't remember now. But it's from the Bible. But he just believes that they're going to be like a feast and they're going to be cool stuff going on in there. But if what we believe is true, then that's probably not cool stuff going on down there. But yeah, I mean, Nero. So Nero calls you guys hot topic Satanists. That's what Nero refers to you guys as.
You're really trying to start the fight.
Yeah, I want him to go fight with Nero.
Sorry, Nero.
No, I'm just kidding.
That's too funny. Yeah, I remember Dan saying something about like us being satire as well.
Yeah,
and I mean, I feel like for a lot of us that don't take it very seriously, I mean that it's funny. Yeah, it's laughable, and again, like going again to Anton LaVey and my old roommate, it was the whole reason he got into it. It was because it's fun, it's goofy. I mean, the guy was a carny, you know.
Yeah.
Which is why, again, those are the guys that are taking it super, super seriously as well, you know?
The reason why I do, it makes me not feel so bad for there being so much division in Christianity, right? Because if you haven't noticed on Christian TikTok, there's not two Christians that believe in the same thing. It's highly frustrating. It's
the same thing I feel like with a lot of Satanists too. Yeah. Like you get all these different, I mean, it just comes down to the, humans. In their core. We're all going to, disagree on something. Yeah. And everybody has their own ways of doing things, no matter what religion you believe in.
I cannot post a video without just getting attacked from my own team. And it's like, my goodness, man. It's like, it's just, we live in a world where there's just so much like hatred and discontent and stuff like that. It's like, and so let me explain my position on, I like to learn from what everybody believes, but like, for example, even though people might disagree on what Nero should be called and what his beliefs are, I just think Nero should be like, I'm going to call Nero whatever Nero wants to be called, right? Just out of respect for him. I'm going to call you whatever you want to be called, just out of respect for you. Because that's really what I want to do with this ministry. I just want to bring you on and show you guys respect. And then if maybe I could plant a seed in here in 10 years from now, maybe you'd want to check it out from something we said. As Larry would say, we interviewed Norse pagan, Fro, on one of our shows. And Larry dropped this like 5-minute, like awesome poetic statement at the end of it. And then at the very end of that statement, he goes, yeah, Fro, check it out. And he said, check it out. And I said, Larry, you're going to drop this 5-minute poetic statement and then end it with check it out.
That's funny.
It's like,
I also like, I love a lot of Norse pagan stuff too. I think it's pretty cool. Again, it's not, I feel like they share a lot of the values with, I feel like there's a big atheist side to that as well, but like also can be taken very literally. I don't know if it was theistic, Norse paganism, or
the ones again, we like, have. Yeah.
Okay. See, I don't know too much about that, but I'm a big fan of like all the mythology and stuff. But again, as mostly fiction as far as I'm concerned, at least in my views. But I have a necklace with Mjolnir on it and stuff like that.
What's that? Cool.
Oh, it's the hammer of Thor.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Fro talks about Odin.
Yeah, the hammer of Thor is Greek mythology, correct?
No, that's Norse paganism.
No, that's Norse.
So there's a Thor.
Thor is Odin's son.
Yes, as well as Loki.
Yeah.
Again, there's more to that too, and I apologize to any Norse pagans that are going to come for me. I'm not well versed on it at all. So
Fro,
I say with a grain of salt.
Yeah, Fro's gonna listen to this. He'll tell you in the comments.
So,
but he's super nice.
I thought Thor was Greek mythology. Is there a Thor in Greek mythology and a Thor in Norse?
No.
No, that's just Norse. Norse,
Okay.
excuse me.
All right.
What do you mean? All right.
The one that runs around with a hammer on the TV.
Yeah,
That's actually Norse, not
The Marvel adaptation.
But in the Marvel comic, was it Zeus?
No,
his dad. Yeah,
Zeus is Greek.
Odin's his dad.
Zeus.
Odin's his dad for sure.
No.
Odin's his dad.
What's his name? Played the part.
What does that mean?
The one from I'm trying to think of his name right now.
Chris Hemsworth?
No, that was Thor.
I don't know, man. You're taking us way off track here, dude. I don't get.
No, Silence of the Lambs actor.
Oh, what?
I love his acting. Who did Silence of the Lambs? Christopher. No, I can't think of his name right now.
Okay,
he's the actor. He
I
played Hannibal.
Okay,
the one that played Hannibal.
We're gonna have to. I'm gonna ask him one more question, and then we're gonna do the rounds. We're gonna do the rounds for him. Oh, you got a question?
Yeah.
Okay, you ask the question, then we'll do the rounds.
What happens when you die?
As far as I know, nothing. But I mean, hey, again, if I get proved wrong, then we'll figure it out after that. But yeah, as far as I know, just nothing.
Okay.
That's it? Okay.
Or as Keanu Reeves, let me rephrase that, as Keanu Reeves would say, what happens when you die? The people that love us will miss us dearly.
There you go. I watched that, yeah. Except he sounds like this. The people that love us will miss us a lot. No, it's
he may have executed it better and maybe a little more stonery than me, yeah.
That's a my Keanu Reeves impression. Yeah. It's like and then he did the John Wick movies and just totally redeemed himself, by the way.
Oh yeah. I'm a big fan of Constantine. It's probably my favorite Keanu Reeves movie.
Yeah, Constantine was it was like had demonic movie or something like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember if I watched that one or not, but I remember watching the those types of movies used to scare the crap out of me, so I stayed away from them.
Even before I really came to the Lord, as that movie came out, and I just have constantly refused to watch it.
I'm kind of the same way with those like demonic movies. I'm like, eh.
Yeah.
It's very interesting in the sense that he's fighting demons and that too, but he's also, he takes a trip to hell. But he's also like on the side where he's using, holy water and like spiritual grenades through like God on his side as well. So it's creepy and crazy and scary, but it's also, there's the holy aspect of, he's fighting the demons.
He has so many movies, dude. So many.
He does.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Okay. Angela, do you want to say something?
Yeah, I did have a question. So you said you had a daughter, right?
Yes.
Do you let her believe in what she wants to believe, or how do you work with that? Does she believe the same thing as you, or does she believe in Christianity?
No, that's that's a very interesting question. So her mom, we're not together anymore. But her mom was Catholic, but not like overly so. Her parents are also Catholic too, and they wanted to get her baptized as well as my mother too. But we decided not to, and that was kind of our agreement, is that we would let her find her own path. We give her the tools for critical thinking and to decipher, what she wants to do in the world. She's young too. She's, preteen, but, so I feel like she hasn't really given too much thought into it yet and finding her own way, but we don't push anything on her. That's the biggest thing, is I've explained to her, what I believe, which is, at its core, atheism. And that I don't believe in any spiritual gods or deities or anything like that. And I'm not sure exactly, what her mom's side of it is at this point, because we've been apart for quite a long time while she's been growing up. But as long as I know, as far as I know, she's holding true to that. And obviously I have my mom's side, which is her grandmother, with the very religious aspect of it. And, we kind of we're letting her figure it out for herself. There's all the resources in front of her. She wants to become a Catholic, Christian, believe in God. She wants to be an atheist. She wants to go to Buddhism, whatever it is. And, however she wants to handle it growing up, I'll support her in any way with that, as I would with anybody else, really, in all the different religions of people that I know. And yeah, again, I just want her to, grow up smart and be herself and figure out what she wants to do and believe along her path in life.
I like that. Larry?
Can I read a verse to you?
He reads a verse at the end of his ending statement every time.
No, hey, I'm a guest here. That's fine.
Okay, Job 34:21. His eyes are on the ways of men. He sees their every step. There is no dark place, no deep shadow where evildoers can hide. God has no need to examine men further, that they should come before him for judgment. Since you were raised Catholic, I figured you had heard Job before. So that's just the one that I felt impressed to share. I appreciate your time, and I appreciate you coming on here. I did learn a lot. That was pretty interesting. You have quite the different opinion than the ones that we've talked to before.
Yeah, this is different.
Yeah, it was very interesting. Like, even just for the little snippets that I did, and I could tell too with the attitude, like coming in heated and like wanting to spit some fire at somebody of faith, and it was just kind of funny to me too, because people, it's a sensitive topic, religion in its whole, for anybody in the world, I feel like, and it's funny when you see people that are, again, just so wrapped up in their beliefs that they're kind of going against what I feel like they're trying to rebel against, which is pushing their narrative on somebody. So to see somebody all worked up and ramped up like that, and not being level-headed and trying to have a conversation and seeing both sides of things was really interesting, especially with you guys. You guys have been great. I've really enjoyed sitting down and talking with you, and just have a little back and forth.
Yeah, that's kind of like, and this will be my final statement, but that was kind of like whenever we started this ministry, I started to notice, I mean, even after we started shooting these episodes, I realized I was like, there's literally nothing profound, new, groundbreaking, or anything that I'm going to be able to say to convert these people to Christ. That's not going to happen.
Right.
The only thing that could possibly happen that we could do this is I could listen. That's what I try to do. I try to listen. That helps me understand where you came from, how you got here, and maybe how I could be different. That way, maybe if anybody young ever comes in my life, that at least I don't turn them away from Christ, right? That's all I can do, is to listen to people, because in most cases, in most episodes that we've shot, some Christian has turned someone away from Christ. And that breaks my heart, man, because just for me, I don't want to be that guy.
Right.
Just like you, I can tell that, like, I mean, even with Dan, with Nero, with Jess, one of the pagan witches that came on here, like you, I could tell, like, I could hang out with you. I could laugh. We could get along. I mean, we could show each other love. I mean, I would help push your car out of the road. And so, like,
I live in Buffalo. I might need that someday.
Right.
I might have to follow up on that.
Like, there's no sense in us not being able to show love to one another. And then when religion comes into it, we draw our swords and we try to chop each other's heads off. There's no sense in that. That's
a lot of why I stay away from it too. Like we were talking about that earlier. It's just, it's such a dividing line, and you were talking about me being open with it, and it's just something that creates unnecessary conflict. So I try and stay away from it. As long as, again, I'm not trying to be converted or having my morals conflicted with something else, or somebody's trying to push their narrative on me. There's no reason we can't get along. And even after that, I'll just be like, hey, I don't want to talk about it. I mean, it's fine. We can just be humans and talk, have a good time,
Well,
or go our separate ways too at the same time.
My sister's an atheist, and that's how she pretty much just approaches me. Like, she's like, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of that you're for this ministry. If you, I guarantee you, if the first time I preach on a stage, she'll be there. You know what I mean? But she's just like, just don't try to convert me. And
yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at too.
And I'll respect that. You know what I mean? So, okay, the floor is
as long as you're doing great things and spreading love, I couldn't be happier for anybody else, you know?
I appreciate that, man. The floor is yours, dude. Say what you want to say. Let your final statement.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I got a lot out. If I had to say anything, it's just, hey, treat each other with love and respect, and be good to your fellow human. There's too much hate out there.
Amen. I agree 100%, man. Well, Vinny, thank you so much for coming on, man. And then stop by the Bible study if you ever want to stop by and see us. There's a lot of people that stop by and say hello that don't believe in the same thing we do and stuff like that. So, stop by and say hi, bro. It was an honor.
Yeah.
Thank you for being my first atheistic Satanist. I appreciate it, man.
Absolutely, man. The pleasure was all mine.
All right, brother.
Thank you, Vinny.
Hey, you take care, guys.
You too. Bye-bye. Well, that was cool. Yeah,
you kind of looked at me when I read the verse.
Yeah, like, what? Like you were like, and the Lord says, go into the darkness into where you will die because the scales over your eyes show you the sulfur coming from your breath.
No, I wasn't anything like that. I was just simply reading scripture.
Okay, read it again. Let me try to. I'm just saying, like, so here's where I try to get with you, Larry. Right?
Yes.
Like if you handle these people with the fire and the brimstone, and you're going to go to hell, there's scales over your eyes and stuff.
No, I didn't.
They hear that.
I didn't say that.
Okay, read it again, and I'll apologize to you if I.
His eyes are on the ways of men.
Talking about God, right?
Mm-hmm. He sees their every step. Of course he does. Okay? There is no dark place, no deep shadow where evildoers can hide. No place that you can go where you can hide, because he sees everything everywhere. God has no need to examine men further that they should come before him for judgment, because he knows each and everything about you already. He already knows. He knows everything. That was just it.
Okay, now explain to me how that applies to Vinny.
I don't know why God wanted me to read that one.
Okay.
I don't question what God wants me to do.
You said God told you to read that verse to him.
I'm saying that I was way over here on 38, and I looking at words, nothing.
Okay.
So I flipped back a couple. That didn't come in. I'm looking. God has my eyes stopped there. That's why I read verses.
It's fine. It's fine.
I follow the promptings of the Holy Spirit.
Well, I got you. You get where I'm coming from, though,
but
right?
That was a seed for somebody else. It wasn't for him, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Here's where I come from, right? So I go into like every day I'm trying to find guests for the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want you to understand my position of why I cringe whenever you go to that kind of, like old school fire and brimstone when you're going to read a verse.
I didn't even
and
say it.
I cringed right when you said, I'm going to read a verse from the book of Job. And I'm like, Job? Are you kidding me, dude? Like, why would you read from Job, man? And then, so anyway, I was like, okay, Job, here we go. But anyway, so I go through these lives and I try to find Bible verses, or I try to find guests for the show, right? And I go in these people live, and what I'll do is I'll type out a message. I'll be like, hey, bro, just want to let you know that I have a show called the Help My Unbelief Podcast, and I want you to come on the show. And then I'll copy it, and then I'll keep pasting it in there until they see it, right? Well, anyways, I'm in there, and there's mainly Christians in these unbelievers' lives, right? Mainly Christians in there, and they're saying like, you have scales over your eyes, and you're if you don't wake up soon, you're gonna be living in constant torment. Like, and these people are going classic, like, oh, like that's the first time I've heard that, and be like, oh, I pray that God removes the scales from your eyes.
Yeah,
like,
but I didn't say that.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
I'm just saying that.
I'm not talking about you at all right now.
I know, but I'm just saying with this, I'm just.
What I'm saying is, I know
whether he believes or not, God is watching him.
Partially, that was me getting uncomfortable.
That
was me getting uncomfortable because I'm in these lives and I see that, and I know that we're not going to get anywhere from being like threatening and like, oh, you know what you're getting yourself into. We're not going to get anywhere. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that's what you did or anything, but it makes me nervous, and probably I should chill out. That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? I should chill, but
trust in man, or trust in God, not man.
Yeah.
That's Psalms 118:8.
I just want to be different.
It is better to trust in
I just
God
want to
than
be
trust in
different.
man.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I want to be different.
So do I. That's why I trust
I want to
God.
be different than those people. I just really do. That's the whole mission, is I want to be different without compromising what God wants us to do, right? Like the whole goal of this is to get people to know Christ. That's the whole entire goal. Bottom line, there's no other goal, right? And we're not hiding that, right? But I do want to do it in a different way to where we can at least listen. And I think we do really well at that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hope so. I got a whole page of notes.
But people don't want to be threatened and stuff like that and be like, the Lord sees you in the darkness and sees your iniquities, and he lies with you, and he gonna pull your hair out with his teeth. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't, like, people don't want to hear that because they know
why
that.
I didn't say that.
But that's what makes it even worse is they do know that. They do know that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But it's just not going to help us getting there. So it makes me, I get uncomfortable, and I know it's something that I need to work on. Okay. It's something that I need to work on, because you're already working on your part. I know you are. I see it. You're doing a really good job, and you're doing a good job. You are. I admit it. So are you just going to sit there and smile the whole time, or are you going to talk? Because, like, I'm getting tired. I'm going to take a drink.
Because you didn't give me a chance to get a word in edgewise. So
well, that's what I'm saying. Will you talk now so I get a drink?
Yeah, I figured when you got done talking, you'd take a drink or something so I could say something. But, I mean, it's just, I have a mission too. And that is just to plant seeds.
Yeah.
Wherever I go, I plant seeds. When I talk to people, I plant seeds. Some are going to fall on hard ground. Some are going to fall on fertile ground. Some will come up. Some of them won't. But we are in the end times, my friend. And if I kept all the seed inside me, then I'm doing nobody any good. It's like a pomegranate. Let's just use a pomegranate for instance. All those seeds, when you open up a pomegranate, you know what the inside looks like, right?
Tell me.
Yeah, because like an apple's got 6 seeds. But a pomegranate the whole fruit is a seed.
Oh, okay.
Right? Okay. So when you open that up, that's me. Okay. But if I stay closed up with it, then those seeds do no good.
Yeah.
But if God gives me an opportunity to open up and put seeds out, that's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
That's all I'm here for.
Well, it's kind of like how I look at this is kind of like what Pastor Gary taught us, like what I think it was 3 weeks ago in church, to where like Pastor Gary really wouldn't have to, when he was a firefighter, he wouldn't really have to proselytize a whole lot, right? Like everybody knew he was a Christian, and whenever he walked in the door, the whole atmosphere of the fire department would change because they knew he was a Christian. They knew what being a Christian was like, right? And then, and so they would change the way they act, or like if they were watching porn, or if they were looking at dirty magazines or stuff like that, they would hide it from him because the Holy Spirit that was inside him made them uncomfortable. So whenever people come on our show, they already know what we are and what we do, and what we do is just our presence, and by our listening, it either affects them or it won't. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So just that's what I took from his story too, was like, he didn't have to do a whole lot of.
I was trying to find the right one that was a couple of weeks ago, and I couldn't remember
By the
exact
way,
date which you were talking about. I got them all down here.
I don't really want to announce this because people back out and stuff so often.
Don't.
I think we should, but we're having a guest on, and our Pastor Gary, who we talk about so much, is probably going to be joining us in studio to take the phone call with us. And so you guys are going to get to see Pastor Gary next week, hopefully.
Yes, and I'm so looking forward to his wisdom.
Yeah, and if not, then I'm sorry, you can beat me up. or you could try to catch me, one of the two, because I'm running, and I'm running a marathon, so I'm in full-blown marathon training, so there's probably not many people that can catch me right now.
Even if that guest backs out, I feel like Pastor Gary's going to be here no matter what.
He can carry it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we could just literally, I would enjoy just having a good conversation with him about God.
Yeah. It would rock, dude.
I mean, considering the differences between how his wife was raised and how he was raised, and then where he came to believe and where they are today and all that. And I mean, his daughter is a pastor's wife. You know, his son-in-law is a pastor.
Doesn't he have multiple daughters?
Two,
yeah.
I think it's two.
How
I'm not
cool,
sure
man.
what the other one does, but I think they're all teachers.
I think next week's going to be a lot of fun, and we might end up going over the 2 hours.
Okay, I can handle that.
Yeah, we might.
I'm here until it's, and he'll need to take a break before he starts, teaching a class. But
so tell me what you give me your thoughts on our first Atheistic Satanist. Like, what did you learn from that? What did you take from it?
To me, honestly, I think that I have a very serious outlook on what is going to happen when I die. And I find more and more of these people that don't believe in God has a less serious attitude about what about what is going to happen after they die. Because they don't believe, they can't believe on life after death. To them, all they can see is the flesh. They can't see anything in the spirit. I know that my flesh is holding me back. It's not an end all. When my flesh dies, that's not a death to me anymore. That is a graduation to me. When my mother passed away, that revelation came to me. That is a graduation. She gets to go to heaven now. She gets to be with the Lord. Her body no longer hurts. She doesn't suffer the Alzheimer's. She doesn't suffer the dementia. She doesn't suffer the arthritis. She doesn't suffer all of those ailments that were physical are no longer part of her life.
Yeah.
For her to die was to gain.
So you think that some of these people that we interviewed, that you think they're not taking the afterlife as serious as they should be?
No, and that's why I've been making a point of asking their age, because I remember where I was at that age. I remember where I was at your age. Okay, I was just trying to be a dad, and I wasn't very good at it.
At 37, really?
My last one.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm seeing. Yeah, I was probably about 34 when I had my last one. 31.
Would you, at 37, would you look back and you still think you were pretty young and dumb back then?
I was very young and dumb. Very young and dumb. I think I was.
Really?
I think I was.
You
getting,
too?
Yeah, I think I was getting ready to go through my second divorce. I was trying to figure out, because I hurt my knee. This was right after I hurt my knees, and so there was a lot of physical things that I had to limit myself to. And I was not happy about having limits at what I physically could do. So going through that mentally, at the same time going through a divorce, finding out I was a pretty good salesman. Who knew? I mean, I really, in my sales life, I excelled very well. Then I got promoted and moved off, and I was coming back to go through the divorce proceedings and all that with number 2. And then number 3 caught my eye. And, that was a downhill.
But so you were dumb. You were dumb.
Stupid because
that's just like shocking.
Because I wasn't honestly I mean, dude, I was driving from here to from Bethany, Oklahoma to San Antonio, and I could do it in 5 hours and 30 minutes.
But you don't think?
No, somebody has to know the mileage on that. Okay, my average was 6 hours. That's an 8-hour drive. I made a point of trying to keep it in the triple digits the whole drive.
Wow.
I slowed down to 85 when I went through Fort Worth. I'm not bragging. I'm saying how stupid I was. Okay, this was before I got my CDL. This was before I started really paying attention to
But hold on,
just the stupidity part.
You don't think
so? I had no fear of dying.
You don't think?
Never gave it a thought.
You don't think that? You don't think like in Vinny's case? You don't think that he believes this way because of his age, though, right? You don't think?
No, I just think.
Do you think that plays a factor?
I think at that young of an age, the death part does not resound with us. The closer you get to the end of our physical life, like, no offense, but I mean, my friend over here is 15 years older than I am. Okay. So, I mean, he thinks about it a little bit more than I think about it. I think the closer you get, you start thinking about death a lot more. Yeah.
Put it mic on.
Speaking of the mic.
Yeah, you always think about, you don't think about that stuff because you don't know.
Right.
Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? What's going to happen in 30 minutes from now?
He was actually in Vietnam. He
really?
Faced death every moment of every day in Vietnam.
I was going to say, like, I think about death less now at 37 than I did at 30.
See, I didn't.
Is that not? That's weird because, like, I used to be afraid of death, though, like scared. Like every nook and cranny, I had this spirit of fear about me. About like, I thought I'd have cancer and everywhere. You remember that, like, and I just don't. I was like, I don't really care if I die right now.
Man, when I was 19, 20 years old, I swore I would die before 25 in a car crash.
You were talking to me.
Because I drove that way.
You were talking to me a couple weeks ago, maybe it was last week, to where you made a comment to where it sounded like you were kind of ready, like you're like excited to go to heaven.
Yes. Yeah, why would we not be?
I'm excited about going because then you leave all this stuff behind because there's none of that in heaven. That's what I'm looking for is the peace that suppresses all understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you can,
I mean,
you look forward to what's going to happen because God's already told you the end. We know the beginning and the end. So when you start looking for the end, then you know it's going to be better than what we have today.
And this is Larry Autry, by the way. He is our prayer warrior. He's here every week and he helps anoint the building. And
my
he's
mentor,
one of our prayer warriors.
He's been my mentor since I met him.
Since Mark's gone, he gets to sit in one of the chairs, so that's why you get to hear him today.
And see, my dad's 85, and even though he has physical ailments, I think he actually gets around a little bit better than I do. I've worked with this guy; he's worked my butt off. Yeah, I couldn't keep up with him. He has less physical ailments than I do, and yet he's been through so much more than I have. So, I mean, even with him looking, like, we're just tired of this crap that we call life.
You don't take care of your. I was going to have a talk.
No, I was not. No, I have very bad habits about a lot of stuff.
You don't take care of yourself.
I love to cook. I love to cook, so I love.
I was going to tell you about that because I look at like people like you and my mom.
Here goes.
I look at people like
runner
you
trying to tell an old fat guy how bad he is.
No, it's not that. I'm going to say this from the heart.
Yes,
because I look at like you and my mom, right? And my mom's your age, but my mom's like bedridden, cannot leave rehabs and hospitals.
No, she's better off than I am.
No, way worse.
I mean, I'm better off than she is.
Yeah, way worse.
Well, I'll be honest with you. My first ex-wife, not good.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. But like it's all, and it doesn't. It like I don't think like the drug use and stuff like that plays a part in it. I think it's how much you're taking care of your. Well, maybe, but
because when you're doing the drugs and the alcohol and everything else like that, you don't take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make any sense to you.
That makes me. That's why I want her to take care of herself. I want because whenever I'm 60 years old, when I'm 70 years old, I want to still be able to get around good. And like, dude, I want my friend to be here a little bit longer than what, you know?
I'm going to be here until the rapture, bud.
Okay. Well, maybe not if you don't take care of yourself.
If it's not the rapture of the church, it'll be the rapture of Larry. I'm telling you, man. I mean,
I think chocolate chip cookies is what's going to get you, Bubba.
No, I eat oatmeal cookies.
You eat what?
I eat oatmeal cookies.
Oatmeal cookies?
Yeah, they help with my digestion. When you get to my age, there's all that stuff. Hey, man, I cannot talk to my dad without hearing about digestion issues.
It's the oats.
Okay, yeah, you got to put the oats in to get the oats out. Yeah.
He's like, no, I eat oatmeal cookies.
Yeah.
It helps with my digestion.
Yes, it does.
Get out of here.
No,
dude.
No. When we went on the fast in January, my fast was cookies and ice cream. Okay.
And you couldn't poop the whole time.
No, I was really having a lot of problem. I have not gone back
to cookies.
No. I seriously ate my last oatmeal cookie out of the first package last night. Okay. I just now started back up on the cookies. It's been 3 full months from January to, three. January. Yeah. 3 full months that I've been without cookies.
Okay.
And I'm not eating ice cream. I'm eating frozen yogurt.
Oh, boring. Good grief, you know?
And that stuff. I'm not talking about Brahms where it's really, really, really good. I'm talking about that
Greek.
Nasty,
yeah.
Nasty. No, actually, I come across Blue Bunny has a frozen yogurt that's French vanilla that doesn't have the twang that yogurt has. I can't stand the twang. But Darcia gave me one of those yogurt bars last night.
Man, you always get me off on these.
Crap,
you always get me off on these weird tangents. Okay, hold on.
You said healthy.
Let's go back to the guest.
She eats everything healthy.
I want to go back to the guest a little bit today.
Oh, okay.
So we already talked about that. You think, and I agree with you. You think people aren't taking their afterlife as serious as they should.
No.
Well, because like for example, whenever people plan to go on vacations for long periods of time, they'll plan a year or 2 in advance for these vacations, but then put no planning into what happens when they die. That makes no sense to me because technically I'm only 37 years old, but this 37 years has went by like that. And it's going by faster the older I get.
Yes.
And so why
it speeds up,
so
Zach.
why would you not take seriously what's going to happen when you die whenever this life is literally like the passing fog in the rolling hills.
But that's
boom.
why I have to bite my tongue a lot. That's why I have to be careful, but that is also why I am so focused on obeying God.
Yeah,
it's because I'm
obedience
that close to my graduation day. Just if the average life is 72 years, I've got 12 years. Larry's already beaten it. He's on borrowed time. My dad at 85 is way over on the borrowed time. So I mean, but every one of his family members live in their 90s. So I hang out with guys and ambassadors that are in their 90s. They've been on this planet for 90 years. I'm seeing my body and going, I don't think that this body can make 90 years.
That's really sucks that you won't like dedicate yourself because you're 60. You could still you could lose 80 pounds still and get in really good shape. And dude, you could be running marathons at 60 still. You could be doing all that stuff. And it really sucks that you're like, I give up. I'm not living to 80.
What am I supposed to do? Go get knee replacements to do that?
No, do a stationary bike. Do something.
No.
Don't just be like, I'm dying sooner than these people because I like cookies and won't work out.
Okay,
That's what you basically just said.
What is my? No, that's not what I said.
You're like,
that
I
isn't
don't
anywhere near what I said.
I don't think I can make it to 85.
No,
Why?
I don't think my body's going to hold up. I don't have any cartilage. I mean,
Can I let you borrow some?
Bones. I wish. Oh my goodness, I wish. But no, there's physical reasons why I can't run. But it's not because I'm fat, dude. You want to come walk behind the lawnmower with me all day? I mow lawns for a living, so I keep the cartilage broke so I can even walk.
We're gonna get you.
Make fun of me walking like a penguin. You need to see me working as a lawnmower. I mean, I'm like right behind it, dude. No.
Oh, you go fast?
I don't have a choice, and I have to keep
It doesn't
up.
hurt your feelings that I make fun of you, that does it?
Look, if my skin was that thin, I'd already walked off of this a long time ago.
Oh, yeah, because
you know what I'm saying? Okay, no.
I'd say if I really thought I was hurting your feelings, I wouldn't talk.
It's my choice to be offended. Whether you mean it or not, it's my choice to take it as offense.
I mean, you've told me before that I would live in your armpit. You've said stuff like that. So
no, I said that you could walk under my armpit. I don't want anybody up there.
Yeah, thank God. I don't want to be up there
kidding,
either.
Man.
But okay, so the guest today, basically, he is our first atheistic Satanist. Like, what did you think about that viewpoint altogether? Like, what were you thinking whenever he was talking about
what do you keep mentioning? That looked fun.
Yeah, it's more like nostalgic for him.
He's of that age group of the Harry Potters and the Dungeons and Dragon type game. I know that's a little older. Technically, that came out while I was still in high school. But he's of that age that all these little magic things, shows and whatnot,
Yeah.
grab y'all's attention, and I still laugh at the Hot Topic Satanist because I've been in Hot Topic. I see the clothes. I watched it grow darker than what it was when it first opened. Yes, I'm old enough to remember when Hot Topic first opened up.
I wonder if Nero, you're a Satanist. Do you wear clothes like that? Do you wear the dark clothes and stuff like that? Comment on this video and tell me. If
as a biker, I wore the dark clothes. You wore black everywhere you went. You had leathers on.
Well, the atheistic Satanists, like what I noticed with them is they wear the anarchy symbol, the circle with the A with the circle around it, and stuff like that.
And then Sons of Anarchy is a combine the darkness with the motorcycles, blah,
The atheistic Satanists I've talked to before, they won't even recognize other religions exist. No. They won't even recognize it. Like the guy we talked to today, Vinny, he was more respectful of the different religions, and he was like, I just think so. He was way different than what most of them act like.
And I agree with that. A lot of what he said, I do believe comes from, he was raised Catholic. He went to a Catholic school. That's somewhat getting in you. And then his dad was Christian, so I'm sure that he had to go to the Christian church every once in a while. And that's a lot of difference if you've ever been to both.
I think the Catholic background and the people that we've started to interview people, I think we need to start, I think it's starting to raise my eyebrow a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why it's raising my eyebrow a little bit, and I want to make that clear but I think it's being a little more consistent than for us to just ignore. Like there's been several, I don't know, we need to look back at it, but because we have friends that are Catholics. We have people in our Bible study that listen to our podcast that are Catholics that I love very much. So I don't want to say that. But it is concerning, like how Catholics practice. There's Catholics that practice witchcraft and stuff like. I'm sure there's Christians
but they
too.
Think it's. I know that one of my cousins went to see and you made a comment that I heard while I was listening to the podcast yesterday. Okay, and the comment that you made was you were talking about. I'm trying to remember exactly how
mediums.
You said it.
Was I talking about medium?
The Christian,
the Catholic that went to the medium.
No, the Christian dude that claimed to be a Christian, but he was a witch.
He was a warlock.
And you called him a Christian witch, and I'm like, that's what he said he was to get. I was trying to get under your skin. But
no, he didn't claim to be a Christian. He just claimed to be a straight Christian.
Yeah, he called himself a bishop at one point, didn't he? Wasn't that the same one?
Yeah, that was weird too. He called himself a bishop, but then told me to stop calling him bishop.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
You remember that? That's so weird, dude. Yeah, it was such a weird situation.
But at that same point, they're going to mask themselves any way that they can while they come in and talk, and get your attention and talk to you.
Yeah.
So we have to have the discernment. But like I said, I have a cousin that went to see a medium, and when I went, like, you did what? And their answer was, well, it was a Christian medium. That's fine. No, it's not.
No.
You can't practice any kind of witchcraft, any kind of medium, any kind of, if you're a Bible believing, there's Old Testament, there's New Testament. It's through this 4 or 5 different times for sure that I can name just my head.
Like the Old Testament story. Witchcraft. Was the people went to a medium or something like that, and then the guy died the next day from it, right?
Well,
like
even King Saul consorted with mediums, and what was his punishment?
He died.
Yeah, talking to the mic, Larry. What was his punishment?
I thought he became a cow, didn't he? Eating grass?
No, that's a different one. That's Nebuchadnezzar.
I can't remember, but one of them died.
Nebuchadnezzar did that. But I'm talking about King Saul. He died. God took his blessing off of him.
Or no, the witch died the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe something like that. The king that you're talking about, he went and got a reading or something like that. And then maybe the witch died the next day, or he died the next day. I can't remember. We're going to have to study that and get it. But anyway, so we're at 131. I think we're just going to wrap this one up today.
Do you want me to give you verse after verse after verse that says witchcraft?
No, we know.
Literally mentions it?
We know. We need to. I am working on getting a Christian witch on that will claim the name of Jesus, stuff like that. And but she believes that witchcraft's okay. I am working on that though, so we will get a Christian witch on here eventually, absolutely. So,
well, I know that we have a lot of friends that are in a lot of different stuff now, and it does make me a little leery because simply I'll listen to them, but nothing's going to change over what I believe. Nothing's going to change because I have to have one authority that is 100%, and that's the Bible.
No one from our Bible study that claims to be a Christian right now practices witchcraft. No one does.
All right. Now I'm saying that we have friends in our Bible study that are witches, people that are
I don't know. I wonder. I don't
and-
know if Jess still practices witchcraft. I don't know if she does or not. But she does consider herself a pagan witch, though. But I don't know if she still practices witchcraft. I don't think she does. But
even if you consider yourself that in name, that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
And there's power in the tongue.
yeah, but like even like Kara, she recently went ahead and threw away the rest of her witchcraft items, like the tarot cards and
now
stuff
you
like
know
that.
that when I read that, I was jumping up and down and giving praise to the Lord, right?
Yeah.
'Cause
So
that's anytime somebody turns from the dark to the light,
praise God.
I'm gonna give praise.
And then Veronica, she came into the Bible study too, and she didn't fully believe in God. And then she gave her life to God, and she's baptized now. She sent me a video of her getting baptized.
Wow.
Dude, it's just really cool, man. Really cool. But now everybody's getting attacked. Like anybody seems like that's attached to this ministry is just getting hardcore attacked from the enemy, dude.
Just use the normal thought process. Here's the end of time right here. Okay. That's the end of time.
Green pen. Okay.
All right. When Christ comes back, that's the end of time, right? For Christian lifetime. That's the last chance, right?
Okay.
Okay. So we're getting close to that final day. Just look at the prophecy and what's being fulfilled. Okay. So each day gets closer. Satan has less time. Yeah. He's intensifying the fight.
Yeah, it's intensifying.
He's intensifying it because we're getting word out in the last days. We're a target. Guess what? I've got the armor of God on.
Yeah.
I am standing as a child of God, a new creature in Christ. He protects me because I'm doing his will, not mine. I put his plan before my plan.
I want to tell this story because it's been crazy because God hasn't been talking to me a whole lot the last couple of weeks. God normally talking. You can ask her, like, I'm just always coming home and tell him that something that God's talking to me, but he hasn't been. But the last 2 days, I've been getting a vision of a door shut. Just a door frame and a door with the door shut. That's it. Just a plain old wooden door, nothing on it. Just the door shut. And the first day I did it, I go, I think that was a shut door that I just saw because it just flashed. Just a flash in my head. So I think that was a door shut. And then I didn't think anything of it. And then this morning I was praying again and I saw that same vision again, outline of like a door with it shut. And I go, okay, that's 2 days in a row. I've never had a vision 2 days in a row, I don't think. And so I started thinking about, I was like, okay, I need to pay attention to that. Because sometimes I have visions that don't make a whole lot of sense. Like today when I was praying in the Bible study, I had a vision like, you guys remember those counting beads at school?
Yeah, it's a Chinese.
Those counting beads.
Calculator.
Today when I was praying, I had a vision of counting beads. Just they were all pushed to one side. This side.
They're all pushed to one side.
Yeah.
Man, that's the.
Oh, okay.
Wow, it's the end, dude. I mean, and just more and more, it's all pushed to one side. Your door's
Wow.
shut, and you shared that with me. You said, what was it? 2 people told you, or you and one person?
Oh, so let me finish that
Yes,
story.
please.
I didn't think of that with the counting beads. The counting beads were all pushed to one side. Yeah, okay. That's crazy. Maybe I just need to start writing them down and sharing them with you guys so you guys can interpret them. Because every time I've told you a dream or a vision I didn't understand, you've given me something from it. So maybe I need to start telling you.
God gives me what he wants you to have.
So, but let me finish this, okay? So the door was shut, and I started, as I'm telling people this vision in my Bible study today, a person shared their vision at the same time. Like it wasn't after I shared this, it wasn't before, like we both shared that at the same time. And she said that the Lord told me that the door to grace is shutting, and that the door to judgment is opening.
Do you know what the first covenant with man was law, right? Covenant of God's law, right? Okay. And when Christ died on the cross, it became the covenant, the second covenant, which was grace.
Yeah.
Grace is coming to an end, and judgment is coming.
Yeah.
That's what that says.
I guess it's weird for me to think, because you think that grace is everlasting, but it's not. And grace isn't everlasting. Grace is an offering. It's a gift that's offered, and then there's going to be a point where grace isn't necessary any longer, or that it's pulled, right? And then it's just, man, it's like,
yeah, I just take that exactly like you said to me.
But yeah,
on the shorter version of it, and go show that to Gary and tell me what he says.
But
I'll go stand there with you and help. I mean, I want to listen to what exactly he says, but he's going to say the same thing.
I tend to like
it's coming down. That's exactly what this is. This is the end of grace. This is when the door shuts right here. This is the same thing that Christ said about Noah. This is when the door on the ark shut. It wasn't going to be open up again. And if you want a New Testament description of that, the marriage ceremony where the 5 virgins had their oil and the 5 didn't. And when the 5 went in with the groom and the door was shut and the 5 without came and knocked on the door was not going to be open.
Yeah.
That's what it's talking about.
They were wanting some of their oil and they wouldn't give it to them. Because they should have got their own oil.
Well, you should have been ready.
Yep.
I can't make anybody believe anything.
Yeah.
I can give you the seed, and I hope that works. I hope that it grows in you enough for you to open up the door and to actually see that there is grace there that you can accept. But
scary, man. Because that's the truth, man. I guess I try to I think I'm still a little self-centered. And I think so I try to inject myself into my visions and stuff like that. And I just started freaking out when I saw that door. I was like, oh man, did God open a door for me that I missed and I didn't run through it? Oh, I hope not, and stuff like that. But I still feel like at peace, because I could be going through financial issues right now. But dude, if the world comes to end next month, then do I have financial issues? No, I have groceries. I have money right now. I have food. Praise the Lord.
Right.
Who cares about your credit score? You're not even going to remember that your credit score existed. Am I saying to neglect your finances?
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
But if you are in a financial turmoil right now and your needs are being provided, then I think you should just enjoy your time with your family. I think you should work on not being stressed. I think you should show people that you don't know love. And I think we should take this time to really just be at peace and enjoy this gift of life that we've been given, because it's going to be the last time that we get to experience it.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, if you are on the fence right now, make a decision.
Don't rack yourself on it.
Because being on the fence is worse than being hot or cold.
Yeah. Yep. In or out.
In or out.
Does that make sense?
There's only 2, in or out.
Yep.
Man, I really appreciated our time together.
Really?
Yeah.
I wish you'd tell me that stuff in private. You just say it in public because you're fake and you don't really like it, huh? You don't really like your time with me. When we're together, he's like, I can't wait to get away from you right now, dude.
Yeah, don't paint that picture out here.
No, we love each other. We talk to each other every day.
Pretty much every day. I mean, I've been busy trying to finish up this house that I've been working on, and then the lawn season is starting. I've got 5 landscape jobs for right now.
I figure you need recovery from the last month of me calling you just griping all the time.
Why?
I don't know. I'm just griping a lot.
And look, God put me there for you like he was there for me.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I've just dude, I've just been I haven't been in turmoil. I've been in peace.
See, and people, until they have that peace, they don't realize how important that peace is.
I mean, we're still getting attacked, right?
Yeah, but the minute that, but you can brush that off. But the minute, when I called you yesterday, because I had stepped over the line out of peace, and I knew that, and I just need to talk to somebody that'll bring me back to peace. And even though sometimes you don't really direct me back, it's that I remember our relationship. It's like the teacher coming to the student for lesson, when actually I can turn that back into a teaching mode and remember my place, if that helps you understand. Like when somebody calls you about a verse or something that you've said on the Bible study, and you're like, you remember your place when you're giving out that advice, and that advice needs to be biblically correct. So I called you to guide me back into my lane of peace before I blew a gasket and became rude with people because I was very close to it.
You remember what I told you yesterday to do? I told you let's get together, baby. Because hey, Zach still ain't fully Christian yet. And if somebody's talking
I ended up having to go back into teacher mode and pull him back and say, no, this is not how we react.
Larry was like, I'm mad at this person at this dealership at the counter and stuff like that. And he's wanting me to calm him down. And I'm like, you want me to meet you there and we'll both yell at her together? Because
so it calmed me down because I had to calm him down.
I'm still working on being sanctified, Bubba. That's the problem.
Yeah, that turn the other cheek. You're still trying to figure that part out.
Well, I'm trying to translate it to where it's like I'm going to turn your other cheek whenever this one's too wore out.
Well, I did do the right thing. I feel I told her that before I lost my religion, I was going to leave, and I turned my other cheek. But
there you go.
When I turned my other cheek, it was because she could see my butt on the way out the door.
Yeah.
I was about to get really okay, but Darcia said, "Well, honey, you got mad, but you did not sin. Anger, righteous anger, is okay if you don't sin. So we can still experience anger. It's a human emotion." But I didn't sin by cursing her out. I didn't sin by being the old me, which would have been, I would have done anything to reduce her to a puddle in the floor verbally.
Yeah.
Okay. And if it would have been a guy, I'd have been up, standing at my full height, leaning in and talking to him.
6'2".
Drop me another inch.
Full 6'2". Okay.
But I mean,
you're going to be 5'9" by episode 25.
But I didn't sin. What I did was I
turned
and walked away.
Good job.
I disengaged. I got in the car. I prayed, and then I thought I was doing a good thing by calling him.
Hold on. I have a message I want to say right now. I have a message for the listeners that I want to say because it's starting to get quite frequently that new believers are starting to DM me, direct message me. Mm-hmm. And they're starting to tell me that, Zach, I've got this going on. I've got this. I feel like there's a demon in my house. Zach, I'm hearing all this stuff going on. I'm hearing voices in my house. I just now started practicing Christianity. What should I do? Stuff like that. And I just wanted this message for all the new believers out there that probably hasn't quite figured this out. You need to learn who you are in Christ. You need to learn who you are in Christ. Because here's the problem. You have the Spirit of the Most High God living inside you, and you need to learn that there's nothing that the devil can do to you, okay? Here's what I have to say to you. I could turn around at night, and Satan himself could be standing in my bedroom, and I would roll over and go back to bed because there's nothing that he could do to me. Yeah. If he turns the lights on, then he's going to have to pay for some of the light bill. Right? Turn the dang lights off, stuff like that. But Satan's not welcome in our house. Satan's not welcome there. Mm-hmm. I'm not scared of him. Now, who I would get up for if they were in my bedroom is Jesus Christ. And I would be on my knees and I'd be worshiping him and I would be thanking him for his grace and I would devote all my time to him. But you people, you Christians, you need to learn who you are in Christ and learn that these entities have no right to be around you unless you give it to them. Cancel those rights, right. Get them out of there, and then go back to bed.
Can I read a quick verse?
Yeah.
That kind of goes.
Is it like you nightmare?
No.
If you say Job 15:13,
it goes with what I was talking about though. Okay. In James chapter 3 verse 9, with the tongue we praise our Lord and Father, and with it we curse men who have been made in God's likeness. Out of the same mouth comes praise and cursing. My brothers, this should not be. Can both fresh water and salt water flow from the same spring? My brothers, can a fig tree bear olives or a grapevine bear figs? Neither can a salt spring produce fresh water. Blessings and curses can't come out of here. So
no, they can, but it doesn't make sense for them.
If I would have cursed her, okay, then every time that I'd gone up there before and spoke blessing over them on my vehicle, even though I don't agree with everything, I still was calm. I still remained Christian. I represented the Lord with my actions. If I would have cursed one time, I'd have lost all of that.
Here's the way I'm looking at it right now, because Larry, if you truly believe you're in the end times, right?
Mm-hmm.
How crappy would it be if let's say they doubled the price on what it was going to cost to fix your truck? Let's say hold on. Let's just go extreme and let's say they quadruple it from here, right? Let's say they quadruple the price. I can see you getting mad right now. And that's where this is where I want you to be. I want you to be mad, okay? They quadruple the price of your truck, right? And let's say you go up there and you're in that office, right? Now, they know you're a Christian because you've got your Jesus shirt on, you got your Jesus visor on. You probably got a Jesus visor on underneath your Jesus visor, honestly, okay? So you've got your Jesus rings on.
Did you realize this is a Christian or a Christmas shirt?
No. Oh, yeah. Well, actually, no, I didn't, and that kind of stinks that you're wearing that.
No. Because without Christmas, we couldn't have Easter.
Oh, okay.
Jesus came on Christmas.
Just be honest, you couldn't find another shirt.
No, I did have another shirt. This was actually an afterthought, and I thought, okay, Lord. I mean, because I had no idea I was going to pick this shirt at all. This is not me. I don't wear...
You don't wear Christmas shirts in Easter?
No, I don't hardly wear Christmas shirts during Christmas.
Okay, but now you get, okay.
Yeah,
but anyway,
the
so
Lord pointed it out to me.
Let me finish my point. So you got your Jesus rings on, you got your Jesus wristband on, everything about you, Jesus. You've probably already proselytized to the girl, right? You've probably already spread the word of God to her. You've probably already admitted you're a Christian. You've probably already invited her to church, right?
Yes.
And they've quadrupled the price on you, right? So you blow your gasket, and this girl, let's say you do blow your gasket on her, right? And you blow your gasket on her, you throw a fit, and then that girl was on the fence. Let's say in her personal life, she had been going to church for 2 weeks, and then you blow your gasket on her. She's on the fence. She's just about to give her life to God.
Then I run to everything.
And then because of that, she decided not to, right? And then, ready? After she decides not to give her life to Christ, boom, Christ comes back the Wednesday of the next week, and you were supposed to go pay for your truck on Thursday.
Not only that, when I stand before the Lord, he'll point that out to me.
I'm not saying because as far as east is from the west, so your transgressions will be blotted out. And so I'm not really like worried about you in that case.
Correct.
But I'm more worried about her and how pointless, like, okay, let's say they 20 times the cost of your truck, or 40 or 50. Let's say they made it so expensive that you would never get your truck out again. But in this scenario that I'm giving you, it doesn't matter because your truck, you're not even going to remember it existed.
That part's true. But what I rest on, even though it's an aggravation in the flesh, I rest on the fact that God provided that truck for me.
Yeah.
Okay. In a time when I needed it. And now the truck is in dire need of work. So I'm investing money into it so that I can continue my business. Okay. And that's fine. So I know God will provide because it's his truck. It's his money. There is no money that belongs to Larry. All money belongs to God. All. No matter who uses it, it still belongs to God. No matter what the government does with it.
So
it all belongs to God.
Getting mad at them is pointless.
Pointless.
There you go.
It was pointless. It was It was the little stabs that Satan was doing to get me into anger so that I would sin. And what I did was defended. I blocked them with my shield, and I left before I went over that wire.
Yeah. I like how you just did the little forearm tap there.
It would actually be this arm for me. Yeah, it'd be this.
You should start doing that when somebody tries to make you mad. Just go, doof, and they're like, "What are you doing?" You'd be like,
"Got my shield up. Got my shield up.
I blocked it with my shield."
Yeah, got my shield up.
The cops, woo! Larry gets hauled off to a middle wagon. In a middle wagon.
Hey, right here's my sword.
There you go. Yeah.
Right here's my sword.
All right. If you've been listening this far to the show, please
love you.
Like, subscribe, and then please leave us a review on Apple. We would love it so much if you'd leave us a review on Apple. So, but we're gonna get off here. Larry, say your.
Jesus loves you, and so do I.
Thank you for watching. We are out.
I'll take you home.
Thank you so much for listening to the Help My Unbelief podcast. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And more importantly, tune in every Tuesday at 9 a.m. for new episodes.